In today's Tactical Tuesday episode, mental health is an important part to consider when not just playing a trading card game, but the competitive aspect as well. And with the new year approaching and new Evo Cups, regionals, and even nationals fast approaching, I feel this is a topic worth discussing. Mental health when playing competitively can not only affect how much fun you are having, but your opponent as well. Understandably, there can be frustration playing in an online webcam tournament. There's a lack of trust, and there's always the issue of 10 to 11 hours of tournament playtime. How many times have you heard streamers talk about getting hungry or suffering from headaches? In the few online webcam tournaments I've played, I've learned a lot about the do's and don'ts to keep me mentally in the game and not frustrated or irritated. Because sometimes that translates into your gameplay and is a cause for easy mistakes. Luckily, if you have chill opponents, they can be very forgiving. But let's talk about 5 ways to keep your head in the game when playing. Number 1. Prepare food and drink ahead of time. This is one of the biggest recommendations I have. Sure, you might have snacks to do the side, but in instances where I get slapped with an 0-2 where my opponent rookie rushed the hell out of me, I take that as a win for a 30-minute food break. And having that food prepared ahead of time can really help when you can just run to the fridge, microwave your food, and have it ready to eat within minutes. Playing on an empty stomach sucks. And most of all, stay hydrated. Fill your water bottle up after rounds. Number 2. Give your eyes a break. You might think a lot of these seem silly, but I found that after finishing my games, walking away from the computer and going outside for even 5 minutes is a huge relief to my eyes. I noticed this especially after my first Evo tournament when I'd keep browsing the internet even after my games. In later tournaments, I'd walk away and come back and feel much more revitalized. Number 3. Don't dwell on the past. Noticeably in my first tournament, I went 5-0 before 3 straight losses. And mentally, I think I was dwelling on each loss I had. If you're thinking about your last match and how you could have won it in the next game, you done goofed. Focus on the now and not the last match. This is something that's easier said than done sometimes, because you might have made the smallest misplay that cost you the game. Again, this is where walking away from the screen really helps. Number 4. Keep the blood flowing. You're sitting for hours playing a card game. Stretch. Walk around your apartment, house, wherever it is you live. Do push-ups. Any form of exercise can help take focus away from the computer screen. And this, I highly recommend. Believe me, movement even a little bit helps. Number 5. Last but not least, keep your eye on the prize. But don't put a crazy amount of pressure on yourself. Deep breaths. I recommend the Wim Hof technique. It gets you pumped, but also oxygenates your brain. Be careful how you do it though, and also be sure you do it safely. Especially not standing up. This week's Tactical Tuesday is a little different in that I don't focus on the trading card game too much, but more so for your personal health. After all, with the year coming to a close, why not change up how you do things? And you may be asking questions like, but DIGI-PANDA, you haven't won an Evo Cup or regional. Why is this good advice? I 100% am not a competitive player. I enjoy making content and being creative. When I compete, it's typically for cards I won in my collection. And since event promos were participation, it was a little bit easier to play for them. Don't forget, pulse mons were also a big thing. In the grand scheme of things, you also have to consider that outside of playing the Digimon card game, there's also a life outside of trading card games and content creation. I love spending time with my wife, and am thankful to her in my life as a supportive individual on my content creation journey. You have to remember, 10 to 11 hours is a lot of time to commit to a day of just playing Digimon. For some people's experience, playing 3 to 4 Lord Nightmon decks in a row is absolutely grueling. And in my experience, I actually never faced a Lord Nightmon deck back-to-back ever. In the end, sometimes yeeting after the first 3 rounds is more than enough for participation prizes. And you get the rest of your day to spend with your loved ones, or just kick back and relax. This is DIGI-PANDA. Logging out.